This is an Off the Tongue podcast.
Hey, welcome everybody to the show. I'm Doug.
I am Greg.
And Mike is off today on baby duty again.
That's slacker.
I know. And you
Man.
are listening to the It's Funny That Makes It Okay podcast, just in case you weren't sure what you clicked on.
Yes.
We're part of the...
I always listen to things I'm not sure what I'm listening to.
We're not sure what we're talking about, so it will match up very well.
That's perfect.
Very well. We're part of the Off the Tongue podcast network. There's a lot of other podcasts that are on that network. Please feel free to check them out. If we're not your cup of tea, you'll probably find something in the mix that will tickle your fancy. They've got the Greener Grass podcast, Skate Ohio, Pint Pals, the original copy. I just blew their. I blew it.
The original something.
It's original copycats.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, it is.
Well, I started to say that, and I was like, wait a minute. I think I messed up.
I think I'm going to
This
start
is live. Sorry.
I think I'm going to start a new podcast and call it The Cup of Tea.
The Cup of Tea.
It's going to be your cup of tea whether you like it or not. Because if you listen to it, it's your cup of tea.
That is good.
I like that.
I'll do one tickle my fancy, but that may be they may get us on. That might put me on Mike's OnlyFans page.
Yeah, I would say that might need to be a TikTok video or something.
I don't know. And there's some other podcasts on there, so jump on, check them out, and give them a listen. We are just winging it today.
Yes, we are.
So I think you said you got a couple things up front.
Yep.
We got some Loch Ness Monster Bigfoot talk. We got the second annual Florida Man Games. That needs to be a remote. We need to go there. And do a remote
I would go.
podcast.
I would leave today.
Yeah. It's already happened. So it was March, the beginning of March, but
I think you could go pretty much any day to Florida and participate in Florida Man Games.
I think so. I don't want to participate. I just want to watch.
View them.
And then we're going to talk a little bit about St. Patrick's Day. Next week is St. Patrick's, so that will wrap up the show.
Yeah, a little St. Patty's Day.
Good old St. Patty's Day.
Neither of us are Irish.
I have some Irish blood in me.
Do you?
I do.
I don't believe I do. Not that I'm aware of.
Because I found that out on Ancestry.com. I don't know what it was. My great-great-great-grandpa on my dad's side, on his dad's side, they were kind of, let's just say they got into some trouble quite often throughout the family tree. And one time, one of like I said, my great-great-grandpa was in Tennessee, and he fell in love with a woman, was going to marry her, and she was wealthy, and they wrote her out of the will, and they said, no family of mine is going to marry some Irish Mick. I'm like, wow. It was it. They had the letter there, but somebody had the letter posted. Like, they did not like the Irish. So, yeah, we were ran out of Tennessee, and ran out of a lot of places. That's fine.
Out of Tennessee. That's probably a hard place to get run out of, Tennessee.
Well, they were wealthy people. We were not wealthy. And to be fair, I think they were a hard-drinking, fun-loving bunch. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
so, sometimes that will get you in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, supposedly, I had a distant relative. I think it's like my mom's cousin's something other did a family tree on my mom's side of the family, and supposedly we're very remotely related to Francis Scott Key, who wrote the Star Spangled Banner. But supposedly one of my relatives owned New York.
Wow.
And I kind of want that. I want some kickback from that.
The state of New York?
The state of New York.
Wow.
So it's like, I'd like a little return on that action.
Well, I thought I felt bad because we were kicked out of a will of maybe some wealthy people, but you lost an entire state.
That's unless
bad.
it was New York City, but even that would be a lot.
Well, it depends on which borough.
Yeah.
Just kidding, New York. Just kidding.
So I feel like I should get something from it.
Yeah. What are you talking about? What are you looking at?
Yeah, here in the central Illinois.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Well, I didn't mean to get us in a whole.
That's all right. That's what we're doing tonight. It's one big rabbit hole.
One big rabbit hole.
So you want me to go ahead?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
So I got a couple little gripes. I got one other thing. So my gripe is with no food industry, no road rage. It's T-Mobile.
What?
Yeah.
I have T-Mobile. I like T-Mobile.
I like T-Mobile as well.
Okay.
But I have a gripe with them.
Well,
a beef,
right.
if you will. So my daughter is on my plan, and Mike's wife, and she messaged me that her phone has been acting up and she would like to replace the phone. And I said, okay, we can check it out. So I went online and looked, and it said, yes, you're eligible for an upgrade. So I punched it all in, just went through the website and did it that way. It got done, and it said it could be shipped and be here in like 4 days or something, or you can pick it up at the store if you would like in East Peoria. So I checked. Well, first I asked her, do you want to pick it up or would you like me to have it sent? She goes, no, I'm free today. I'll run down and pick it up. Because it said you could have it today. So I punched it in, said pick it up at the store. So if you got a message later, your phone's ready. Come down and pick it up.
Nice.
Everything's going great. Right?
It sounds great.
Website, everything's going great. She drives down there, and I get a call in a little while. You have to be here with me to pick it up. I'm like, what? Why do I need to be there with you? We went through, they've got your phone. They've got our phone number. They've got all the information from the website. Why do I need to be down there? And she goes, the girl just says you have to come down here too to get it. And it's like, as you know, at work, we've shortened our lunch hours to half-hour lunch hours now. So it's kind of hard to get away, go do a business transaction and get back in a half an hour.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
be on the ball.
And then she's like, well, we can just come another day. And it's like, well, now she's got a new little baby. She's going to have to haul the baby back home, come back. And I'm just like, so I'm like, okay, let me think about it. And then she calls me back after I said, I don't know. I think I hung up, and then she calls me back in a little bit and she goes, well, they said if you dial, I don't know what it is, 611 or something like that on your phone, you can make me an authorized user on it, and then I can get it. So then I punch in 611 or whatever on my phone, and it says, oh, we've made it easier. You can go to our website, and you can click on the tab and then the button and then scroll down and then click on. And I'm like, everything you just said, I did not get that down. I'm not going to be. And it's like, so I waited a second, and it went through all this stuff, and then it says, or you can wait in the line and somebody will come on and talk to you, a representative. And so I waited on the line. It comes in. It says, if you know your PIN number, you can punch that in, and then we can. So I punch it. I fortunately figured out what it was.
That's where I'm usually out. Like, oh crap, I don't know what my PIN number is.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I got through everything. I was able to add her, and she was able to pick it up. So in the end, it turned out to be okay. But it's like, why do I got to jump through all these hoops? I have my authorized phone number to be able to log into the website. I have, everything. You've got all of our information there. She has her phone that has the number on that phone. It's like, what kind of scam are we trying to run? I don't know.
Yeah, it can never be easy.
No.
It's never easy.
When we first went to T-Mobile, I do have a little gripe about them that way too. When we first went down there were 4 of us in our family that were moving from one company to T-Mobile, and when 2 hours or longer we were there trying to get these phones activated.
Yeah, it can be moving to a different company sometimes. Another provider can be a challenge. Let's just say that.
Yeah. So my other thing is, actually yesterday we went to Chicago to see my granddaughter's gymnastics competition. Mm-hmm. It was in Waukegan, Illinois, up by Chicago. Yeah. We get up there, and it's a place that kind of looks, now this won't be a reference for anybody else, but so you get the idea. Kind of like 5 Points in Washington. Okay. Which is a gym / library / theater, pool.
Theater. It's kind of a multi-use location for the town. It has a lot of things that can go on.
Now, how many ballpark parking spaces would you say they have there for that? Any thoughts?
Maybe 200.
200 parking spots.
I'm guessing.
That'd be my guess. Well, so this thing we went to, this gymnastics competition, was in a similar facility.
Okay.
I would estimate less parking places than 5 Points. 150, 100 maybe, and probably 1,000 people at this gymnastics competition.
Yeah.
Trying to find parking it's like, who planned this? It's like, we're going to put you in this facility with.
Well, parking in Chicago is just.
Oh my gosh.
Even if you're in the suburbs, it's not like it's super busy.
I could go on a whole nother tirade about gymnastics competitions, but I won't. They're very long on hard metal bleachers. Your bottom does not appreciate it.
They are very long.
Yeah. So my beef was for that one was the parking. Who planned that? And, I don't know how they planned on us parking. And my last thing is I was reading a news story this week, and it's funny how one word in a news story can really change the visual of what happened in the news story. So the story was about this man. I forget what town it was in. Maybe it was South Carolina. I kind of forget. Yeah, it is South Carolina. They executed a man this week.
Okay.
By firing squad.
Wow. Well, that's different.
Yeah, it was the first execution, and
if you were going to be executed, what would you pick? Just real
would
quick.
you rather?
Would you rather get the hot shot, the electric chair, the hanging, or the? I think I would rather
I'd rule
go
out
with
hanging. I'd rule out hanging.
Yeah. I'm thinking firing squad. As long as they know what they're doing and they're putting that bullet in the right spot. Then.
So they had 3 guys behind a wall. So they couldn't really, they had like a laser point right on the guy's heart. So they all 3 shoot same time. So they don't know who did it.
Yep.
And,
Is it 2 with the bullet and 1 with a blank? That's
I don't know.
I
don't know. I didn't get that part of the story.
There's usually 1 blank. So, but you don't know.
Yeah.
So that way you don't know if you could. Wow. I think I would go. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a toss up between the firing squad and the lethal injection.
The lethal injection, they give you stuff which knocks you out, and so you're out. And
they say every once in a while that goes south.
Yes, it does.
But a firing squad could go south too. Could. I mean, you live somehow. I don't. Oh, we missed.
See, and I'd be tempted if the guy was like a brutal rapist and just tortured little kids and women and stuff. I would want to shoot him in the crotch once. See, now that's
Oops.
bad. It slipped.
Yeah, he bumped me. Yeah, Rodney Dangerfield. Hey, he bumped me. So
sorry.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting thought. I'm with you. I think firing squad might be. It sounds painful, but it'd be so quick.
It would be very quick.
But man, just think if you. But it takes a little bit for your blood to pump out. It takes. You die that quick? I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to do.
Well, you got me thinking. I don't know, but really, more what I was interested in was our people who write news stories need to proofread better. I think we've talked about it a little bit before, but they were describing. So this guy killed his ex-girlfriend's parents because she was going to leave him, and he was upset, and he killed him.
Well, that will make her stay.
And he
worked out well for him, didn't it?
You end up in jail.
Now you're dead.
And you're dead. I mean, although he's been in jail since 2001, I think. 2001, yeah. And he killed him by beating him to death with a baseball bat.
Oh, see, now that's horrible.
Yes.
That's awful.
So the whole story, sad, horrible. It's not where he gets executed by well, I shouldn't say. I don't want. But the way the person who wrote the news story needs a little proofreading, because they said Simon, 67, was convicted of the 2001 murders of who and who were beaten to death with a baseball in their small town home.
Yeah,
that makes a big difference.
That's even worse.
You winging the ball around. You winging the ball around the house.
Would you rather be beat to death with a baseball bat or with a baseball? I'm like, well, the bat that would be quicker, I would think.
Dunk.
What if he's a poor throw? I mean, it's going to take a long time with that.
Yeah,
baseball.
you're going to have to really just keep winging it over and over. Oh, I threw my arm out.
Maybe it's one of those 16-inch softballs, so maybe that would be better than the baseball.
Maybe, but it said baseball. It does not say bat after it. It said they were beaten to death with a baseball.
Yeah, that's
I've been hit by a baseball. It hurts.
It does hurt. But I think it would take a whole lot of hitting to kill you.
What did a
The
day
ball
and a
bat,
half
maybe,
to kill him?
maybe 3 or 4 whacks, depending on where he hit it, and you'd be dead. That baseball, that could take, I mean, he'd have to go get something to eat, come back. He's got to ice his arm up.
Maybe he had a
sits
pitching.
in the tub.
Maybe he had a pitching machine.
He
Funk,
did.
funk,
That
funk.
would be better.
And I'm not making fun of the death. It's a sad story. It's
Oh, looks like the manager's got the phone. He's got somebody warming up in the pin. His buddy, it's like,
relief.
yeah, he's got nothing left in the arm. I'm begging, so you just get the ball bat. No, we're doing this with the baseball.
Was anybody calling balls and strikes?
I don't know.
Up behind them.
Jeez.
Yeah. That's again,
baseball,
sad story. I am not,
baseball's a whole different ball game.
I'm more ripping on the way the person wrote it and how it changes the entire context and the picture, at least in my weird brain, of what really happened. I mean, I'm really upset with your parents.
Well, yeah, it went from a serious, sad thing until now I'm picturing him trying to kill somebody with a baseball. And 2 people.
2 people. That would take a while.
Yes. That's a double header.
Ooh.
See, oh,
Too
come on.
soon. That was 2001.
Like, I know. The guy deserved to die.
Yes.
I'm making fun of the story more than.
Yes. Which is what I was doing too. It just really, like I said, in my weird brain, when I read that, I'm like, a baseball.
All right. It was probably inappropriate jokes, but that's what you get here. Sorry.
That's right.
I'm sorry.
That's right. If this isn't your cup
I'm
of
not
tea,
sorry. This is what we do.
go to the Cup of Tea podcast.
That's right.
So, anyways, that's my three things. And that's all I got.
All right.
Are we done?
You said that we recently changed to 30-minute lunches at our work. So
Yes.
if you're disgruntled, maybe you should look for a new job. And I found a place that's looking to hire
Oh,
someone.
I thought you were telling me something.
Yes. Well, I am. Over in Scotland, they're looking to hire somebody full-time to be a Nessie hunter. A Loch
Nessie.
Ness Nessie hunter. They're going to hire somebody full-time. Now, it's not, when I say full-time, it's full-time, but there is, I think it said March to the end of November or something. So apparently there's a Nessie season. Kind of like we had burrito season last week. This is a Nessie season.
I did not know there was Nessie season.
I did not either, but that's what they were saying. But you have to, you kind of have to double duty here. You're going to run or be in charge of the research center where you kind of people come in and you welcome them in, a welcome center. You talk to them about the history of Nessie. And
I could do that.
I could too. Well, especially when you find out they're going to pay you 180 pounds a day. Now, in dollars, that's $232 a day just to hang out.
That's doable.
Now, you do have to pilot
Buy your own boat.
Well, you got to pilot the boat to take people out on Nessie hunting excursions. Run the sonar. I don't know what you use to hunt Nessie. I don't know if it's a big gun.
Well, if it's anything like the dolphin tours down in Florida, they just drive around and look for them. I mean, I have told Lori many times I could do that in my retirement. I could go to Florida,
I would love it.
Drive a dolphin boat. That would be fun.
Or a birding excursion. You just point them out. Oh, there's those.
There's one. There's a bird.
Look at that bird.
Oh, and then look at these rich people's house over here.
Yeah, I do that too.
Yeah, I do that anyways in my car.
I do too.
But, yeah,
I don't know
Nessie.
all right, well, I got the 25-ton test line here that we can put out there. I don't know what you use for bait. I don't know if, because I would think Nessie is a herbivore. Maybe not. Maybe she's a carnivore. Or he.
We don't know, I don't think. Toss a person in. Let's see.
Maybe the guy that's killing people with a baseball bat.
Or the baseball.
Or the baseball. We could throw him in there. Yeah, so it says you'll have to share the story of Nessie, guide guests using state-of-the-art sonar, and be part of a cutting-edge research in search of the legendary monster. But yeah, you're on board the Deep Scan vessel. You go out on different tours of the loch, and you make it memorable for the 12 guests on board. I don't know what that means.
I think I would get some things to put in the water that pop up and things to occasionally Not to trick people, things that look completely different so that they don't,
Yeah. See that? Oh, that's not Nessie.
That's not. I thought it was for a second. Oh, that's a log.
I'm showing you what that is. Well, they did just have a recent Nessie spotting, and they showed a picture of it. It looks like a rock under the water or log. I'm like, well, I don't know. It doesn't look like a monster. And the most famous picture of all was one that they took in like 1933 that we've all seen. And that ended up, they admitted one of the guys that did it on his deathbed admitted it was a hoax.
Oh.
Like they just did it as a hoax.
I don't know if I knew that. Now I'm crushed.
I'm sorry, but they've had other ones. I think they said the earliest recorded sighting was from like 595 AD. Somebody talked about some kind of a huge beast coming up out of the water. But they said that lake also has like sturgeon, which sturgeon can get like huge,
big,
14, 16 feet long, and they're kind of scaly, so they can kind of look like that. Or they said also one thing that they do is that these huge pines will fall into the water. They get waterlogged and they sink. But they also have this biochemical, like that as it decomposes, it gets these little gas bubbles. Well, they build up under the bark, and it will cause these big trees to kind of shoot up into the and it looks like something coming up for air, and then it sinks back down, and it will do that. And that people have said that was the monster. But yeah, the contract runs from March 31st through November 2nd, so you still got time. 30 to 40 hours available per week.
Yeah, I could do that.
So apparently, yeah, there is a Nessie season, I guess. And they have a little video on this on this website. This is from, where is this from? The Daily Mail, UK. And they kind of enhanced it and they blew it up. Now people are going to be, but it's literally a blur. It's a black blur. They said, "Oh, look at there. It's coming
that could
up
be
for
somebody
air."
on an inner tube.
It could be something on the camera lens. I mean, it's nothing, but they're all excited about it. So, it has a little bit of information here about it. Yeah, the first sighting was May 2nd, 1933. In 1934, Colonel Robert Kenneth Wilson claimed he saw it. The 33 one was later exposed as a hoax when one of the guys on his deathbed revealed that they'd staged it. Yeah, and then there's been a total of over 1,000 Nessie sightings. Now they even have an online registry. You can just go on there, click on it.
The Nessie registry.
The Nessie registry. They also have Welsh catfish, which get huge. I mean, I guess they get like over 500-600 pounds. And they said sometimes those will come up to the surface and people will think that that's a monster. It kind of is. A 600-pound catfish, I would classify
that's
as
a big
monster.
catfish.
I'd be like, yeah.
On the Illinois River, it'd be flying carp.
It would be.
You'd think you're having monsters jump out of the water on your boat.
But yeah, so you can go get your job and look for Nessie.
Hey, 200 plus a day to drive around out on the lake and entertain
I like
a group.
it.
I could do that.
Yeah, I would love to do that. Now, we've had a couple of Bigfoot sightings recently here in central Illinois. In October.
That's what you were saying. I had not heard that.
Yes, in October they had one, and it was by a guy who drives the mail. Not a postal, but like a third party, like a truck driver that drives big pallets of mail. That they even interviewed him, but yeah, he said he saw it scared him. He saw something, big creature on the side of the road, come up out of like the woods, and then in March, earlier this month.
Wow, we're early in March.
Yes. So earlier, like the first or second, we have a park. It's Wildlife Prairie Park here, and it's kind of wildlife game
nature park.
Preserve,
yeah.
something. But
the animals kind of run free out there in their prairie.
Some fences, but yeah.
Yeah.
But there were people hiking. I don't know if it was in or I think it was just around that area, and they came across these giant footprints, and they took pictures and had people come out. But yeah, maybe you could get a job as a Bigfoot guide.
Yeah, just walk around and show people.
And hunter. I don't know what you use to hunt Bigfoot either. Maybe blow-ups of girl Bigfoot. Ooh, maybe.
I want a vehicle to drive them around in, though.
Yeah.
I want to drive.
I want it to be like a Jurassic Park Jeep.
Yeah, something like that.
And I want the khaki shorts with the piff helmet.
Yeah.
I want the whole thing.
Yeah.
I like that. I would do that too.
Yeah, tell them stories about
Maybe
Wildlife Prairie Park.
And Bigfoot.
Yeah, and Bigfoot.
You can tell them your fear.
Yeah.
That you don't want to go to the bathroom because Bigfoot might reach into
come through the window
and grab you.
Yeah, grab you while you're sitting on the toilet.
Now that came from a movie, right? Is that what that was?
Well, we were trying. I think so, but we could never determine what movie it would have been.
This is from a long time ago. But
yeah, it was from the '60s. But
as a child, you were scared that Bigfoot would come through the window and grab you while you're going to the bathroom.
Well, we had one of those windows in our bathroom that was frosted glass. So if something were out there, you just see like a shadow or something. You wouldn't see, But in the movie, this hand comes through the window and grabs the guy off the toilet.
Well, it would come fast, so you wouldn't have a lot of time
you wouldn't.
to react.
That's faster than
baseball.
baseball.
And I make fun of it like it's an irrational fear, but that is scary. If I'm going to the bathroom and some giant hand comes and grabs me, I'm not going to be I'm going to be scared to death.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I don't want to be pulled through the window.
Well, nobody wants to be pulled through the window.
Nobody
wants to be attacked by Bigfoot while they're going to the bathroom. I mean, ideally, I don't ever want to be attacked by Bigfoot, but especially when I'm going to the bathroom. All right. Well, I want to talk a little bit about the Florida Man games. Now, we talked about this last year. Now, unfortunately, this has already occurred.
Oh.
This is the second annual Florida Man games. And they have it down. I don't know what town it's in. I don't remember.
You think they'll ever be able to get where they have competition between states?
I don't know, because they would have to come up with some different. Now, this is geared for stuff that happens in Florida. So we'd have to come up with some other events.
Yeah.
With other states. Like the Midwest, you could do like the hay bale tossing competition. So we got to throw it.
Yeah.
And, I mean.
Maybe detasseling competition.
Yeah, that could be a
Soup
Midwestern
up your tractor. See how you go through the field. You got two teams. They go against each other. You go through the field. And you can make your tractor as fast as you want, but it's a combination of speed and how many tassels you get. Efficiency.
That's right.
How many did you leave on?
That's right.
That could be a good competition.
Now, they have a detasseling competition on the Florida Man games, but it's completely different. It's a different kind of tassel altogether. Just see how many of those you can take off.
Well, how many are there?
Well, I don't know. It's also speed and efficiency, though. So you got to keep that going. But I digress. So anyway, last year's winner was the team Hanky Spanky.
Good name.
They're the defending champs, so they came back. But they have several different events here. Of course, we talked about they have the evading arrest obstacle course, which I do like. I like this too. It says Floridians are chased by police after stealing copper pipes and catalytic converters. So I think those have to be hooked up. You got to get in there.
You got to get it off the car or out of a fake house or something.
And I think you need both. I think you need one pipe, one catalytic converter. I don't think you can choose. Like, boom, boom. You got to hit both.
Do you get to pick your tool to get the catalytic converter out, or is it?
I think that I picture like a table, and they
like
just have all the tools there, and they say go, and everybody rushes the table, and you grab what you got. You get what you get.
So one team might get a hacksaw, and the other one gets a sawzall.
You want that battery operated sawzall, because that'll go right through it. But it says after that, you take off running, and you got to carry those all the way to the end. You got to get them to the end. And it's an obstacle course. There's fences you got to jump.
You get different types of cars too. So like one would be a Prius that's low to the ground. One could be a 4x4 that's sitting up pretty high.
I don't know. Would you do that, or would you try to keep them all the same?
I think the same.
I think so too.
It's got to be fair.
I think so too. But that's it. I like that though. You could throw that. You could do that though if you wanted. You could change it up.
Yeah.
I don't think they all can be Priuses, but I think the same size. Maybe.
Or maybe you get the 4x4 with the hand hacksaw, or the Prius with the sawzall.
Yeah.
But you got to get under the Prius.
You got to get under that Prius. So after you grab your pipe or your catalytic converter, you take off running. And it's hard to run while you're holding your pipe. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's not easy. We got to jump a fence.
Oh.
Well, you might want to. You don't want
your pipe
catching that
head.
fence. If the pipe catches the fence, you could fall. It could knock you right down.
You don't want that.
Says while you're running, you got to look. You got to find a frozen iguana. They have real iguanas. They're frozen because in the wintertime they freeze. They fall out of the trees. Iguanas are a invasive species, so they kill them out there. So you gotta grab the frozen iguana.
I was not aware of that.
Yep.
Oh, I got hit in the head by an iguana falling out of a tree.
Yes, they do have that. People have done that.
Wow.
You can get this isn't the Florida Man. This is real. You can actually kill iguanas, and there's like a reward for so many. You can take and turn them in for money. I don't know how much.
Oh, I found a new job.
They use 22 caliber pellet guns, and they kill them.
It sounded better all the time.
Yeah.
If I couple that with the tour of people, throw all the people in the back and give them pellet guns and let them shoot iguanas.
Yeah. They have fun. Then you collect them and turn it in. Don't tell them that there's money.
No, they don't need to know that.
Yeah.
They're paying me too.
They are.
I got double money here.
You're going to be rolling in the cash.
That's right.
So after you find the frozen iguana, you keep running. You come through a drive-through window, and you have to chuck a live alligator through the window. I don't know why that is. I don't know how big the alligator is.
It's got to be a small one.
See, and I think what drive-through? I think it's got to be a real restaurant too. I feel like
with an employee behind it.
They got to be fighting to keep that out. Now the Chick-fil-A, I feel they're not going to allow that. So if it's a Chick-fil-A, there's like, that's not my pleasure. I'm sorry.
Yeah, not my pleasure.
Now I figure if I was going to have to throw it in one, you go Burger King, right? Burger King is going to be like, yeah, you're going to.
Well, yeah, because nobody will be there. I mean, they have like 4 employees in there.
You could get the guy working there by himself, and he's strung out, and he's gonna, he's ready to fight anyway. I don't know.
Is the alligator's mouth rubber banded shut?
I hope it is. It doesn't say. It doesn't say. So after you do that, then you run across the finish line for victory and freedom. And the whole time you're doing this, you're being chased by cops. They will tackle you, and if they handcuff you, you lose. You're out.
Can they tase you?
It does not say that.
So, because those tasers will reach a little bit.
I think they should allow that.
I do too.
But yeah, if they catch you, they'll handcuff you, put you in the car, and you're out. You're out of that competition. So you got to do all this stuff while being chased by the police. Now this shows that's.
Well, it happens in the news down there every day. So
I wouldn't want to do this. This sounds exhausting to me.
It does sound exhausting. I couldn't do it.
So that's one of them. They have the weaponized pool noodle mud duel.
So
basically they got a pool noodle and they put like a stick through it so it's, firm. It's not, you can't fight with a floppy noodle.
No, you don't.
Can't. And then they have like duct taped pillows on the end, and it's like a joust. So they get up there and you're trying to knock the other guy off into the mud.
Off what? Is he standing or is he?
It looks like they're just standing in the mud, but there may be on a pedestal. The picture cuts off at the knees. So
you're trying to knock them over though into the mud?
Yeah, you got to knock them down. So that's
Do they have the pizza slice throwing? Like you throw pizza slices at each other?
I'm glad you brought that because I have that written down. No, they don't, but we will get into that because I have some questions about that too. So that's good. Well, we'll just get into it. They should have. We've read so many stories of people getting arrested for assault and battery with different foods.
Food, spaghetti.
So I said you need the assault with foods.
Yeah.
And I think with that one, they come up again. It's just a table of food.
So what food would you want? Well, that's going to hurt somebody.
We've had bologna.
Yeah, we've had pizza.
We've had
spaghetti and meatballs, I think.
Yeah. We had pizza, spaghetti, and meatballs. We had a sandwich.
Yeah.
We've had a pickle. We've had a whole chicken.
A whole chicken.
See, I feel like you just have to have like a smorgasbord up there.
Yeah, I think you
got
to. Yeah.
And
load your plate up, and
you
then
assault a mannequin, and you got to, I don't know, knock its head off.
You got to make hits with it,
whatever food you can find. You can't touch it just with the food.
With the food, yep.
I think that's good. They have another competition. It's called Eat the Butt Challenge.
I don't even know if I want to know.
What it is they must finish off the pork butt platter the first. So they have it's kind of like pie eating, except it's pork butt.
Pork butt.
Pork butt.
That's a weird one.
Yep. They have the Florida Sumo cage match and beer chug. So basically, they take a guy, they put the inflatable ring like you would have at the pool around the middle of you, and you have a pitcher of beer, and you got a sumo wrestler without spilling the beer, because even if you lose the sumo wrestling match, you got to chug the beer, and the guy with the most beer in the pitcher will win, but he has to chug it. And you can, even if you get knocked down, you can win if you can chug the other guy's pitcher.
So if you get knocked down, odds are you're going to spill your beer, right?
Possibly, unless you can hold it and...
Wow, that's talent there just to do that.
It says conquer the Florida Man Games chain link cage as Floridians try to knock down their opponents or spill the beer from the pitcher. The loser can still get points on the board by chugging their opponent's remaining beer. So I don't know if you got to wrestle it away from him and drink it.
Or drink it while he's holding it.
I don't know. It does not. It doesn't say. Now, I do like this one. This one was one I don't think they had last year. At least they didn't talk about it. The Hurricane Party Prep. It's a grocery aisle brawl. So they must battle it out against each other to get the last of the hurricane prep and party supplies on the shelf.
Water, milk,
yeah. So
bread.
they got to fight each other to get the most items in their cart out the door of the grocery store.
Do they combine the stores with maybe some home improvement stores? So there's, wood paneling, generators.
I think that would be tough.
Yeah.
Because you got to load all that up. And I think it's got to fit in the cart too.
Yeah. Generators can eat up almost your whole cart.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. They also have the human beer pong. Have you ever seen those things with the giant balls that people get in and their feet are out and they run and bounce it?
Yes.
It's that. And so they have like a kiddie pool filled with beer on one end and the kiddie pool filled on beer on the other. And you run into each other and you're trying to knock the other people into the kiddie pool of beer.
I thought you were going to say they had like a platform you had to launch yourself off of and bounce and land in the other.
No. They also have Florida Women's Challenge as well. And I'm going to get into that in just a minute.
Well, we want to be, we want fair play here.
But if you go down there and you're not officially in the Florida Man Challenge, so you don't have a team, you can still participate in stuff. They have the Ninja Nation obstacle course, which is just kind of like American Ninja obstacle course. They also have a mechanical alligator you can ride, like the mechanical bull, except it's a giant mechanical alligator.
Well, that tail could be a problem.
And they have the Ocala knocker ball, which again, knocker ball, that's the big inflatable ball that you put around your feet, hang out the bottom.
I don't think I could do that. It looks fun, but I'd get dizzy if I got upside down.
And they also have jousting. Again, it's like the pool noodle where you're knocking the other guy into the water. But they have the women's challenge this year. So I'm going to talk about this year's because it's already happened. It happened at the beginning of the month. But Hanky Spanky won again. They defended their challenge.
So they're a two-time winner?
They're a two-time winner.
Good job.
It said they're also, this was from Florida Today, they're also in talks to do the television event, make this televised kind of
I can see it.
American Ninja type thing. It says the winning team was Hanky Spanky. They were actually down by 1 point with the last event, and they ended up winning. Now, what they did with the Florida Women's Challenge is they have to knock out a baby daddy.
How?
What they do is they have a mannequin dressed up like a man down range. And they put a cigarette in its mouth. It's got to be a lit cigarette. Then they launch water balloons from a sports bra slingshot. So they have to make a slingshot out of a sports bra, launch the balloons. It says Hanky Panky was down, and with their last shot, they were able to sling the ball and hit the mannequin right in the family jewels. They got 3 points. Now, this is where I want to know, do they supply the sports bra, or do you have to convince
bring your own
a woman to donate a sports bra?
I don't know.
Do you go with a well-endowed woman?
I don't know. You want it stretchy, though.
Yeah, but see, I don't know. That might be stretched out. You might want a nice, tight sports bra and fire that puppy. I don't know. You can get bigger water balloons.
Well, that's what I wondered. Is you got
but you may not need
balloons?
it if you can put velocity on it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
See,
I think there's some things you got to think about. There's some physics involved in this. It's not just.
Sadly, a lot of these teams probably didn't even have to practice before this.
They probably already had a sports bra shot.
We've done that for years.
Yeah. So. But yeah, they said it was a great success. They're in talks with Netflix and ESPN, and they're talking about maybe doing some kind of a series with it. But I like your idea where we need to incorporate, so you have people from Florida. We need to incorporate some other
different states.
Get some state rivalries going.
And maybe you got to, Illinois would have to compete in the Florida game or the Florida export, but Florida would have to compete in the Illinois ones.
So one of the events would be more geared towards the Midwest. One would be more geared towards Florida.
Yeah.
So you
something
get
with
California,
pumpkins.
Get a homeless guy chase you with a machete. You got to run. You
got
to jump over the human feces and stuff. They're going to be good at that.
Yeah. Outrun the fire.
Yeah. Arizona, they could do something with crystals and they're all
Well, it's just, you got to go through a desert.
That could be. That could be. New York. I'm sure there's plenty in New York.
Oh, there's a lot in New York.
You got to fight your way through a subway
No, you just got to ride it
while it's moving. Well, that's fighting your way through the subway. But yeah, no, I'm glad you brought up the food because I had that. Yeah, salt with food. So
yeah,
we've
food.
Had
Yeah, we've had a lot of those over the years.
All right. Anything else before we head on to our last stop?
I don't think so. I like the Florida Man games, though.
I could see.
I do too. I would probably watch some of that.
I would love to do a remote. I would love to go. Like, yeah. Well,
we're reporting to you live from the
some of the
Florida
events
Man
they had WWE. A few stars came down. They did a wrestling match. They also had midget wrestling. Now that's what they called it themselves. The short people. They have the midget wrestling. I don't know, championship or whatever. They went down there and they wrestled. And so I like, this sounds like, listen, I'm not going to lie.
It sounds crazy.
It sounds like fun. It sounds like a good time.
I'm sure it'd be fun to watch.
But I'm a local yokel from the Midwest. Yes. So I'm very uncouth. And
I'm not sophisticated.
No. Well, we've never been accused of that, I don't think.
No. My new cup of tea podcast will be sophisticated,
yes,
though.
You'll have to separate yourself.
Because you got to have your pinky out when you drink it.
You have a little belly ding at the beginning. It's like, get your pinky out. Welcome to a cup of tea.
I kind of like. I'm digging that idea.
Oh no, Greg should have branch off. I'm Greg Daniel, and this is Cup of Tea.
Welcome to your cup of tea.
Okay, well, maybe you can branch off on that.
Maybe
today we'll be talking about Florida Man games.
Yeah, no, we got to be more sophisticated.
Well, you're going to bring some sophistication to these.
It'll be the British Man games.
Oh, maybe they have those.
Yes, they're going to have crumpets and
scones. All right. Well, next Monday is St. Patrick's Day, so we're going to talk a little bit. I got a few. Says here's 10, but I think there's only 9. I don't know. 10 St. Patrick's Day trivia questions.
I thought you were playing a Florida Man game there for a second. You got to count to 10.
I do. Well, I don't know if
9,
I hit it.
11, 9, 10.
The letter 10.
Yeah.
All right. First off, why is St. Patrick's Day celebrated on March 17th?
Oh my gosh. I'm sure it's got something to do with some Irish
yeah, you're real close.
A battle in Ireland.
No, the patron saint of Ireland, St. Patrick, died on March 17th, 461 CE.
I am not up on my
well, let's see where
Irish heritage.
In what century was the first St. Patrick's Day parade in Ireland?
What century?
This surprised me.
18th.
20th.
Wow.
Surprising answer. It wasn't until 1903 in Waterford, Ireland, St. Patrick's Day had primarily been seen as a religious observance until Irish immigrants in the United States began shifting it to a secular holiday all over the world. According to Irish lore, what animal did St. Patrick drive out of Ireland?
Was that the mice one? Mice?
No. Snakes.
Oh.
St. Patrick is said to have driven out snakes.
Good. I hate snakes.
The story was made up to symbolize St. Patrick's effort to rid Ireland of pagan rituals. And they say there are no snakes in Ireland because it's not.
Well, they ran them all out.
He did.
I'm going to get a 0 on this.
Well, you're 0 for already. On St. Patrick's Day, what do the 3 leaves of the shamrock symbolize? There are 2 answers to this.
Oh, really?
I will take either one.
Prosperity?
No.
Love, hope, peace.
Okay, let me help. I'm going to give you a hint. Originally, this was a religious holiday.
The Trinity.
There we go.
Gotcha.
So that's the first answer. According to legend, St. Patrick used the shamrock to illustrate the concept of the Holy Trinity to potential converts. So the 3 leaves represented the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
So what about the 4 leaves?
It can also, well, this is a shamrock. I don't know. I don't know if that's different than than a clover. I don't know.
Oh.
This is just saying he used the 3-leaf ones. The 4 leaves ones were spawn of the devil, I guess, and they stomped on them and burned them.
The Trinity,
I don't know.
The Trinity and the devil.
It said it can also symbolize the theological virtues of faith, hope, and love.
Well, I said that.
You said prosperity.
Well, but then I changed it. I think I said peace, hope, and love. But
okay, well then you've got both of those. I gave you the answer.
I'll get a 0.2 of a point there.
I'll give you a whole point. You're 1 for 4. You'll see, and I'm going to butcher how this. You'll see Erin Gobragh, ErinGobragh, on many St. Patrick's Day celebration banners. What does that saying mean? I have no idea.
I have no idea.
It's a simple phrase that means Ireland forever.
I need to think these through a little better.
Every year since 1962, the Plumbers Union of what city dyes the local river green for St. Patrick's Day?
Well, I know Chicago does that, so I'm going to say Chicago.
You can witness the Chicago Plumbers Union use 40 pounds of green vegetable dye to turn the Chicago River green in the annual St. Patrick's Day tradition.
I did not know it was the Plumbers Union.
I didn't know that either. I do like seeing that video because they'll take that, because the river's kind of muddy looking brown.
Yeah.
And they take the boat, they take off, and it just goes bright green behind that boat. I mean,
Yeah.
and it is bright green.
They need to keep it that way.
Me too. Green wasn't always associated with St. Patrick's Day. That didn't happen until the 17th century. What color was originally associated with the holiday?
I feel like it was blue. That's my answer.
Well, you felt the correct thing because it is blue.
Blue! Ding, ding, ding.
Blue
Hey.
was the original color of St. Patrick's Day. The significance of blue dates back to early Irish mythology when the sovereignty of Ireland was often represented by a woman dressed in a blue robe.
Wow, another point.
What would you call a female leprechaun?
A hurricane.
Trick question. There are no female leprechauns. There are only male leprechauns. So how they get more leprechauns? How they get baby leprechauns?
I don't know.
I don't either. Now, I know they're not technically human, so maybe they have a whole different thing going. They just... they find the baby at the end of the rainbow.
Yeah, pull him out of the pot of gold.
Pot of gold. Oh, you found a pot of gold. And me baby. Come here, you little baby. All right. More than 13 million pints of Guinness will be drunk on St. Patrick's Day. Throughout the year, however, there are 2 countries that drink more Guinness than Ireland. One is the UK. Can you name the other country? And I will give you a hint. It is located in Africa.
Oh, wow. I was going to say that.
That's why I give you the hint.
Because, I was going to say the U.S. I will say Nigeria.
The country that drinks even more Guinness than Ireland is Nigeria.
Yay!
Yay!
Ding, ding, ding.
Who can blame them? What do the 3 colors of Ireland's flag represent?
What are they? Green, white?
Green, orange, and white.
Yeah. What do they represent?
I probably would have got 2 of these.
Green, orange, and white.
Yep.
Is green the shamrock?
Well, let me say that it's. Remember, this was a religious holiday, and so it was more. So it's stuff like. It's difficult. Maybe not for you. Some people may be listening, screaming, "It's easy!" It's like I didn't think it was that easy.
They're going. These guys are idiots.
Well, that's very true.
So
we prove that every week.
Green, white, and orange.
We have a standard to uphold here. That we are idiots. It's not easy.
Well, we're holding out for the Florida Man games.
Yeah. Well, we've been saving all of our intellectual content for the Cup of Tea podcast that will be coming out later.
True. The highbrow one.
The highbrow.
I don't know.
Yeah. The green represents the Catholic Christian religion and symbolizes the Irish nationalist Gaelic tradition.
I was going to ask if I could phone a friend because I know somebody who would definitely know the answer.
The orange represents the Protestant Christian religion and the minority Protestants who supported William of Orange. And the white in the center represents peace, hope, and harmony.
Back to that peace, hope,
Symbolizes
and harmony.
the hope for lasting peace between the Catholics and the Protestants.
Okay.
So that was it. That was the last one. So you didn't do terrible. They were tough.
I got a couple right. A point and a half or so.
They were tough questions. I thought it wasn't like a bunch of easy stuff.
Well, it's interesting. We got that coming up. You know.
Yeah.
I always forget to even wear green on that day, and
yeah.
I get pinched a lot.
Well, you know why you wear green on that day? I'll tell you next week. That's a little teaser because I do know that one.
Oh, okay.
So we'll talk about that on next week's podcast.
Because I don't
if
know.
I remember.
I don't recall.
I'm going to make a note. Otherwise, people are like, "Why do you wear green?" I don't know. I don't know what we did.
This is a cliffhanger.
This is a cliffhanger.
Yeah. Hopefully, it's not
very
one
important that you know why you wear green. It's life and death.
But
that's next week.
I need to know.
All right. Well, I've got nothing else. That's
I
it
got
for
zip.
me. Okay. Well, hey,
It's been fun.
Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to the show. We do appreciate it. Feel free to check out our social media feeds. We throw all kinds of different things out there. I try to.
Give us a like.
Give us a like, a share,
Yes.
comment.
Please.
5-star.
We're not begging.
We don't want 4, 3, or 2, or 1 stars. Only 5 stars.
Only 5.
Yeah. I guess the Cup of Tea podcast will get like 7 stars. You have to put it.
Well,
you'll
it
have
starts
to
at 5.
5 is the low. That's 0. So, but yeah, check out our social media feeds. Let us know what you think, and we hope you're tuning in 7 days. Until then, see ya.
Later.